All right, you know a little bit about the Euro-US dollar lunchtime long part one system. I want to get a little more in depth now with some statistics and that kind of thing. So this is the data we have for the Euro-US dollar system. I've actually traded this for many, many years. So the data points, these particular data points are kind of taken from a Forex broker. I like to trade it via Nadex, so there is going to be a bit of a variance in these results versus actual results, etc., but gives you a good guide for things. So here in the data here, this is from, the last update was end of June 2019. But 45/100%, and then you can look at for the last 10 years, it's 64% historical win rate. If you take out the Wednesdays, you're probably closer to the 66%. Risking about 57, that's usually what I suggest on Nadex. If it was 66 and you got filled on 57 every single time, you're doing quite well for it. This isn't going to get you rich. It's about 45 trades a year. Each year is a little different. 2015, I think, had 60 some odd trades. 2018, I think, had something like 20 trades. So it's not going to get you rich. It's a neat little system. It's been profitable over the years. Whether it is in the future, I don't know. And one of the things I wanted to show you here of what I mean as far as statistics is June 21st, 2016, you can see the midnight price and 12 o'clock price and the 1 o'clock price, strictly based on the fact if was it up or down for that hour. You can see it was 61.2 to 58.8, so down a little over 2.5 or almost 2.5 pips. I know this particular trade actually won. So this was a winning trade, even though it shows a loss here. It was a winning trade because I took it. On Nadex, they work in 4 pip increments, so you can never get these exact entries at 12 o'clock. It's just not going to happen. So I like to be slightly in the money, so I don't remember, but in my notes I have it as a winner. So it was probably a 112.58 contract. Which won in this particular case. So that's why I say these numbers are slightly better than that because of the way, if you're trading at Nadex, because of the way that Nadex has their increments. So I have month and year and so forth. I'll get into year and so forth in a minute. But the offset, it's at 0, which means basically this is going to show you a win or a loss based on, like I said, this example, this is actually 2.5. So if I put 2.5 in the offset, more than likely that's going to show a win. And as you can see, it switched to a win. So if the offset for every single time was 2.5 pips, so in other words, this particular, every single trade, you could get it 2.5 pips better than what it was at 12 o'clock, your win rate would jump to, like I said, 70%. And you can see Wednesdays goes up as well. So, you're going to be anywhere in, 0.1 to 3.9 pips in the money if you're trading on Nadex, because like I said, it trades in 4 pip increments, as you can see here really quickly. 110.12, 112.16, or 110.16, 110.08, etc., etc. So you want to be slightly in the money, so that's what I at least tend to do. So even at 1 offset, which means every single trade was 1 pip in the money, you can see the results jump 67, 69, 65, 70, and again, even if you're risking, $60 on every single trade, if you end up getting 67% win rate on a $60 entry, over time, you're making money. But the really neat thing here on this particular system is the fact that it doesn't have many losing years. Last year, 2018, was a losing year, but the previous losing year was 2008. So if I go 2008, let me actually go back to the offset of 0. This is actually only a half a year, but I know this was a particular losing year for this particular system. But 2009, 66%, 2010, 71%, 2011, 65%, 2012, 59%. So again, if you got a couple of wins that were, or excuse me, losses on this particular side of things that were wins, that's going to shoot it up into the 60s. But 2013 was a winning year. 2014 was a winning year. 2015, this particular year was a ton of trade, 66 it has here. Based on the actual trading, it was actually 66% win rate. So I do have the data on that particular year. So in this particular case, it says 57, but I know it was 66 on Nadex because of the in the money aspect to it. 2016, a nice year. 2017, a winning year, and then 2018 was a losing year. This was definitely a losing year. I think it maybe hit break even, but it didn't adjust much from that. So it was a slight losing year. Again, if you're risking $57 for each trade and you only win 55% of the time, you're losing out. 2019, this isn't quite correct, again, since it's not updated since June, but it is a slightly down year if I remember correctly. So, but anyways, it hasn't had a really blowout losing year, big like even last year. It was, slightly down, and again, the last time it had a losing year besides yet last year was 2008. So so it's fairly consistent. Again, it's not going to have probably a 90% win rate year, but Lord willing, it won't have a 20% win rate year as well. So it's a nice consistent system over time, has produced well, and those are a little bit about the statistics on it. Again, not going to make you rich, is not a daily trader, 45 trades a year, so you're talking 3 to 4 trades on average, but sometimes you'll go months without a trade. Again, this is if the euro US dollar is down from midnight to 1 o'clock, or midnight to 12 o'clock. Well, if the euro's in an uptrend for 4 months, you're just not going to see any trades. So if it's coming down, you might get 6 trades over the course of 2 weeks as well. So it goes like that. So again, a really simple system, the Euro US Dollar Part 1 system. I do have a Part 2 system as well. Check YouTube for that. Subscribe to the videos. I plan on releasing a bunch of my systems that I've been trading over the many years over the course of the next coming weeks and months. So subscribe to the channel if you're interested. Also look in the description of any particular offer that I might have for one of my top systems, which is the end of the week Dow system, which has a historical win rate for some of the time frames at 90%. So hopefully this is helpful. Have a great trading day. See ya.